So I'm just going to hit the live button, and then it's been interesting to watch the chat sort of discuss what they think is about to happen or what's going on, and it's been just a delight. So hey, welcome to Tuesday Night Torg. I am JM the GM. These are the Horsemen, and we are live on the Ulysses International channel, coming to you with more Torg. We'll make this announcement at the end, but all of us at Iconic are going to be off next week, so we will be playing this week, and then we'll be back in 2 weeks after this. I'll remind everyone at the end of the show. So, everybody is saying the universal sign for the Horseman game beginning is this. So, well done. When we last left off, our heroes in the delightful sunshine and bunnies-filled Chasm of Orosh, and by bunnies, I mean, you know, nightmarish horrors who will consume your soul. You guys had managed to make a discovery on the train. Genevieve had a connection that she was able to play with Wilhelm, which gave her a bit of insight, and the group took to the roof of the train, managing to run past the boats and the vampire and make it to the front of the train. I feel like I missed something. That's fine. Just keep rolling, JM. It's fine. And so that's where we're going to pick off. They dropped to the train. Several people were thrown from the train. Last week's episode could have been titled "Throw Tyrannic from the Train," because that happened just multiple times. Going to be honest, thoroughly enjoyed it. But thanks to the efforts of Lady Salvo, Peaches, and Tyrannic himself, the entirety of the group arrived at the engine car and proceeded to see inside the engine, where the engineer was shoveling, coal. That's what we'll call it, because coal screams like the voices of the damned when shoveled into a furnace. And even though there's light coming out of the furnace, the whole engine seems wrapped in shadows and a lot larger than you expected it to be. The area from the door to the engine, which is open, there's no door, it's right, the windows are down, the wind is whipping past, threatening to pull you from the train. The roar of the engine is so loud that unless you are yelling, you will not be able to hear each other speak. You do still somehow, over the roar of the tracks and the engine, hear that same sickening sound of the shovel sliding against the coal and the screams that come forth from the engine when the coal is shoveled in there. So again, it seems much longer of an area. From the door to the front of the port where he is shoveling coal into the engine, your guessing is about 15 meters. And the creature in the dull gray overalls of an engineer, locomotive engineer, seems massive. He stands head and shoulders above Tyrannic and is about twice as broad, as thickly corded muscles, skin pocked with scars, burn marks, and what look to be self-inflicted wounds that have healed over. Are seen on this mottled gray and purple skin where it's just blotched and bruised. And so, that was great. Great pun. I liked it. So we are going to start there. What is the plan?
Can I just go? I mean, unless we want V to talk our way out of this, you know. I mean, that's one option. Or we can get right to...
The train is eating people alive.
Yeah, just go.
Okay, so the large fireman, I think that's what they called them back in the day, that stoked the cold, is shoveling souls into the open firebox, right?
Yes.
So I want to time it so when he shovels a load in and he's bent over shoveling it in, I'm going to try to unleash my telekinesis and push him into the firebox.
The firebox is not large enough for him to fit in.
It's the Hansel and Gretel attack.
He is
Yes.
He is a massive guy, and the firebox is only. I mean, V could probably fit in there, but it is not.
Okay.
It is not a
V it
portal
is.
large enough to shove a massive monstrosity
I
through.
think you need to use V as a size reference for this furnace.
Like
think-
again, we
Well, we could put you as a plug so he can't shovel any more in.
I think I'm gonna pass on
Yeah.
that idea.
in Orosh, I'm measuring everything in units of V.
Okay.
This guy is clearly 2.5 Vs. Tyrannic
How
is
far
about
away is he again?
1.2 Vs.
Very, very targeted. Is there a door on the furnace? Like most had a door so you could shut it for a little
Most
bit.
did have a door. This you can see a pair of like rents in the metal where it looks like it was ripped clean off.
Anton,
V.
do you want to telekinesis? You could take a shovel. Ooh, Jim, is there the traditional brake handle? Like the gear?
Would you like to spend a possibility to have one there?
Yes.
Yeah, it's there. There is this, what looks to be, it's too perfectly curved to be anything other than the radius of some massive creature that has been jammed into the hemisphere of metal that kind of comes out where the brake would be, and you can see that there is like the knot of the far end of the bone has been wrapped with leather that still seems tacky.
Ew. Okay. Pulling her
I didn't say it glistened.
sweatshirt sleeves over her hands. I'm gonna try and throw the train into reverse while Anton is distracting the dude. So maybe we just wrench the thing.
Okay, so Anton, you're going to make an attack. Genevieve is going to give me a strength-based roll to try and throw this thing into reverse. What are the rest of you just watching?
I will help V.
I'll help Anton.
All right.
Yeah, so if he's too big to fit in, then yeah, I'll do like V said, and I will just try, as he tries to shovel it in, I will just try to keep pushing his shovel so it flies into the furnace and he doesn't have a shovel anymore, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I will also help thee.
All right. So V, because of the two people helping you, you will get, I believe it's +2 for two helpers.
So does Lady Salvo take her whip and wrap it around that lever and pull on it?
Yep.
Of
So no, you
course.
get a +1 for
Action.
the two people helping you. So how are Edith and Lady Salvo? How are you helping V as she runs up to try and pull this thing back?
Well, Anton just said it. I mean, clearly I get out my bullwhip and lash it around the length of the lever and plant my feet and sort of haul in on the bullwhip.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing like Winnie the Pooh situation where we're all kind of like pulling together.
See, I have a different Winnie the Pooh situation in my head, but I'm sure that will come up at some point tonight. All right.
What Winnie the Pooh situation are you thinking of?
It's okay.
When Peaches gets shoved into the engine.
I just have a lot of questions about what Winnie the Pooh you're thinking of if you're envisioning body horror and Winnie the Pooh.
Have you not seen that little clip where Winnie the Pooh worships the devil?
Ooh.
And we've watched different Winnie the Poohs. All right, so V, you get to give me a strength check with a +1 from the two people helping you. Anton and Tranic, what is your distraction?
I think I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
try.
try- Go ahead.
Well, while he's doing that, I'm gonna throw my rock bolo and maybe try and trip him.
Okay.
And I'm trying to use telekinesis to push the shovel out of his hands and into the furnace. So he can't stoke the fires with more souls.
All right. So Tyrannic can give me a so you're trying. Are you trying to trip him and knock him over with your rock bolo?
Or at least grapple him so he can't move.
Okay. So give me your attack roll, and Anton, give me your telekinesis roll.
18.
I'm just going to just continue to shuffle this drama deck until I find the need to stop.
I don't. You don't need to. You don't
Yeah.
need to do that.
Come on, let's all remember that episode of Winnie the Pooh where he put his hand in the honey jar and wished for Piglet to come back and brought him back as a zombie until he let go. No, wait, that's the monkey's paw. I think I am thinking of something different. Okay, so you got an 18, Tyrannic. That is a regular success.
Question.
Yes.
So I spent a possibility to roll another die,
Okay.
and that was a 20. The next one was a 7. Since it was the possibility, is it a 10 or is it just a 7?
Is your next roll was a 20?
Yeah.
No.
So then a roll following that
So
is
it's
whatever
if the
it is,
roll
right?
is less, if the one you roll is less than 10, because you actually rolled a 27 with the possibility, you don't get to kick that up again.
Okay. Yes. Trying to get the math right.
I'll spend a possibility to knock that up to a 23.
A 23 is a good success. All right. So, do you want to make him stymied, or do you want to make him vulnerable?
I think stymied.
Okay.
I have a feeling he can pack a punch.
Yes, Restar. Mad Honey. It has returned to us. It has come full circle.
I got 24 on my telekinesis, which is should be outstanding.
Okay, so what is
Yeah.
what is the strength of your telekinesis?
15. That's what it comes out to.
Okay, so a lot of things happen at once. The engineer turns to shovel, an engineer fire thing turns to shovel more coal. Bolo's going wrapped around his legs cause him to stumble forward a little bit, and Anton goes to rip the shovel out of his hand. Genevieve, what did you get?
Well, with an action card? I mean, my skeleton's mostly metal, but apparently I'm not that strong.
Do you want to spend a possibility?
I used my last one to make the handle, so I don't have any more.
Okay. You and Edith and Lady Salvo pull, and you can see the lever starts to pull back. It's not enough to throw the train into reverse, which, is probably a good thing, as the train doesn't then just wreck upon itself. Anton, the shovel goes... the guy's arm extends out. All of the coal drops. You get the edge of the shovel into the furnace, but he is strong enough to resist your strength 15 telekinesis.
It's concentrate, so I'll just keep it up so he can't. It'll be a tug of war for a bit.
All right. First card of the night. The battle is mine. This is a dramatic scene as the engineer kind of stands up, and you can see the seams of the overalls start to rip as flesh just kind of presses against them. Villains go first and have inspiration, which does not matter because he does not have any shock at this point. The official, or the approved actions, not the official actions, are defend and trick. As you watch Anton, you can see like his body starts to swell a little bit and grow larger, and he turns around and you hear this deep voice as it said, "And in those days, giants walked among the earth." And he turns around, and Anton, so your strength is at 15 right now, correct?
Yes.
All right, he turns around, and you can see, inch by inch, he pulls the shovel out of the furnace.
So, here's a question, because I've never done it before.
Sure.
What do I get if I go on like full defense, and that's all I do is try not to die?
So if you go on full defense, or as you just called it, the try not to die ability, what it does is you will make a defense roll using the appropriate skills, so dodge or melee combat or something like that, and that will set your defense to that level. And if you roll worse than you normally would, you still increase your defense by 1. You can never not increase your defense, but it does cost your action to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I need one more possibility.
Does that mean I have to drop my telekinesis, struggle with him?
I don't believe so. I think it will just take the multi-action penalty.
I'll just take the penalty because I'm multitasking.
So he
multitasking.
He turns around.
Everyone's defenses are still up by 2 because I'm still concentrating on the other one too. So.
Oh yeah, and don't forget the
penalties are stacked.
The multiple penalties. As you guys, kind of, the train slows down a bit, but you can see almost like it looks like rain is moving past the engine, but it is thick and it is bright red. And he turns and he will take a swing at Tyrannic and Anton with the edge of his shovel. Now a white hot edge. Oh good lord. I don't know who made the beta clearance rules, but from this DM. Alright, so even with your bonuses up, plus 11.
And stymied, right?
And stymied, thank you. So that's only a plus 9 instead of a plus 11.
So I have to wait for my turn to invoke my... I'm going to go full defense?
You can declare making a defense roll in response to this. So he will hit a 28.
Woo!
You're gonna go defense, Anton?
Oh, I'm at 15 for dodge.
Yep.
So I would roll and add it to 15?
It's actually going to be against your melee. So I believe you are at
that's
12, and Tyrannic is at 10.
Okay. So it would start at 12, and I'd have to get up to 28. Holy moly!
All right, Greg gets all of the possibilities. That JM's Pooh would have a character T.I. Geiger illustrated by that artist, which combines my love of Geiger with my love of Winnie the Pooh. So
Geigers.
This stacks for you, Greg.
No,
it would be the Donnie Darko rabbit.
That's right. It's like the Donnie Darko rabbit. All right, Anton, did you defend?
I can't get that high, so I might as well save my action to do something before I die.
Tyrannic?
Yeah, I think I'll do the same thing.
Okay. So this one's coming to Anton, and this one's coming to Tyrannic. All right, Anton, your toughness is currently 12. Correct? Um, 28. Let's make up 16. 3 wounds and 6 shock, sir. And Tyrannic, you, sir, this thing comes across. There, you can hear the steam sizzling, almost as if it's cutting through the air as it cuts through Anton and Tyrannic. Tyrannic, for you, is also 3 wounds and 6 shock, sir. Are you spending possibility in order to soak?
Yep, I spent possibility, and I get a 21.
A 21 is still an outstanding success, Anton, and so you reduce the wounds to 0 wounds and all wounds and no shock. So
Okay.
as you step back, your jacket, your shirt underneath, you can see the char mark where it's been cut all the way, but you just see that soft newborn skin just kind of right there, kind of revealed on Anton's chest. What about you, Tyrannic?
I did the same thing. I got to a 20.
All right. As the air sizzles, both Tyrannic and Anton, against all reality, stand firm.
I think we should do a high five, Anton, just for that one.
Does it feel like a high five moment?
I feel like that's a high five moment.
All right, it is your turn, guys.
You don't want a hug?
No, I don't.
I think that everyone is now vying for Tyrannic's affection.
And Peaches. JM, before we take our action, do I have any idea whether the people who have been absorbed by the train are already permanently absorbed?
Would you like to give me a profession monster hunter roll?
Yep.
All right, so this, so if you're going to do that, what else do you want to do? Because this will be a multi-action, Lily. So in the heat of combat, you're trying to figure out what happened with the train, and do you want to do something else? Because it'll still only be the one roll.
No, I'll just try to figure out if I know what's going on with the train.
Okay, go.
Sorry,
for it.
there's too many things I want to do, and
I feel that. Too many penalties for right now.
right. Okay, I can do this. 14.
So here's what your guess is, Edith. You've been around Orosh all your life. You've spent the better part of that hunting creatures like this. So one, you know that this is most likely a nightmare, which means any victory you win today will not be a permanent one. You don't know enough about this nightmare, right? Nightmares in Orosh require special knowledge to inflict the true death, which you've started to gather information on the Warden, right? You know that if you want to end this Warden threat and figure out what Grigori wanted Tyrannic to find at this prison, you're going to have to finish your research. But you also know that nightmares can be temporarily dispelled by slaying them, essentially. It does tend to make them rather cranky and want to hunt you down and put you down permanently, but as long as you avoid trains, I can't see what would possibly go wrong there. As for what you see in this coal bin, you are certain that this coal is the substance of a life. That is, each little lump is a piece of someone's personality, their memory, broken apart by the trauma inflicted upon them on the train. If you were to stop the train, at least temporarily, those who still remain have enough of their essence should exit the train with you, but they'll probably be missing large chunks of who they once were. All right, as Edith surveys the scene, what are the rest of you doing?
I can go.
You can go, sir.
Okay. I'm going to pull my gun and aim it towards. Pull one of my guns and aim it towards the shoveler is what I'm going to call him for now, the fireman. But I have to pause because there's a tiny voice speaking out of the flames. It says, "Lady Salvo, don't end up like me, no." And it's like a little tiny image of the Peregrine, which is a hero I once knew. It's this little guy with a little flight cap and everything. He's like, "Laura, don't." And my gun starts to tremble a little bit as it's pretty scary to hear someone like call to you from the beyond. But I will try to shoot. I will try a called shot to disarm.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to do. What's the penalty for shooting the shovel?
So the penalty for shooting the shovel, I will make it at a -4.
Okay.
And because of this horrific scene that kind of bubbled up, I will also give you a possibility for that.
An Oroche possibility?
An Oroche possibility, yes.
Okay, great. Okay, well, here goes. Okay, good thing I'm favored. All right, that's still not great. I'm going to spend an Orochian possibility, Jam.
Okay, so once you spend it, if you would like to retain it, you make a corruption test DN10.
I am not going to retain it.
Okay.
All right, I'm also... Well, I can't play card right now because we're in combat, so I'll just have to put a card out for now. Actually, this could be a critical moment. You know what? Well, critical moment.
Okay.
So I'm throwing in action, drama, and flurry. So I will get an additional possibility from the drama, which is going to give me a much better roll. It's plus 10, so 32 minus 4 is 28. Am I suffering any other penalties?
No.
All right, 28 and then 31 from action.
So 31 from action.
And the flurry is in play.
Okay. All right, sparks fly, and the shovel goes flying out, spins through the air and lands blade first into the coal bin.
Okay, I have to do this. It's not against my roll, it's against the damage.
Oh, go for it. Perfect, even better.
So, what's the, is that an outstanding?
That is an outstanding, you got a 28, you said?
31 all told.
A 31, that is outstanding.
Okay, it'd be 22 damage.
Okay, and that's compared?
Yeah, whatever his roll was versus the 22.
All right. All right. The shovel goes flying through the air and lands in the coal bin, like blade buried to the top of the shovel, just leaving the post and the handle, and you can see where it is slick and glistening in what little fiery light kind of kind of pours out from the furnace. It is hot in here.
Okay, I'm going to say I'm going to give one last word, then I'm done with my turn.
Go for it.
I just want to look at him. I'm going to look at him and say, pick it up. With the gun on it.
All right. Edith and Genevieve. Actually, it's just Genevieve right here. Roll a d20 and tell me what you get.
Four.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Who's going?
Can I go?
You may. Anton, before you go, give me a d20 roll, please.
I don't like this. I don't like it.
14.
All right, Anton, you clearly see dislodged by the shovel. Something glitters in the coal bin. It looks... It's really weird, because there's no way it could possibly be here. But Anton, you know growing up there in Tharcold, bonds are formed. And sometimes those bonds may turn romantic. Like the young Russian woman you gave a gold ring that looks very similar to the one that's lying in the coal bin right now.
Good. I still have telekinesis up.
You do.
I'm going to pull a shovel out of the coal and fling it off the train.
Okay. All right, you don't need to make a roll for that. Anton, you rip the shovel out and you throw it off the train. You definitely hear something snapping by as the shovel goes off the edge, and it's definitely either branches or large leathery wings. One of the two.
Either way, it's good.
Tyrannic and V.
Okay, this is gonna sound absolutely crazy, so let me know if this is just, just nonsense. So the coal is, parts of people.
Yes.
Can I use my healing miracle to conjure up some sort of, golem coal thing? Can I heal them enough to, get something weird going on with this coal?
You're going to need to spend a possibility to do it and get at least a good outcome.
Okay. All right. I can do that. Okay, I got a 15.
So that is
Which
a good success. Right?
All right. Yeah.
All right. Do me a favor. Give me a roll a d20, and what is your willpower?
I rolled a 12, and my willpower.
Or spirit.
Well, my spirit is 12, or my spirit's 11.
Okay. All right. So you guys all watch as Tyrannic invokes this miracle from the living land, and much to your surprise, you can see some of the larger chunks of coal begin to glow. And almost emerging out of them are these spirits of people in very Victorian-looking garb, and they rush the firemen, and they start like tearing at him and pulling things away, and the fireman is distracted momentarily by these things. I'm going to have it inflict 1 wound, Tyrannic, and I will make him stymied or vulnerable the next round, your choice. But there are no more large chunks of coal left.
Tyrannic for the win!
All right.
Which
that
would
was
you
really weird. Thank you.
Which would you prefer him to be?
So is he no longer stymied from before?
He is still very stymied until... he was very stymied until the end of his turn, which he has already taken. So he is not stymied right now.
Oh, okay. I'll make him stymied again.
Okay. All right, so Genevieve, you see the Tyrannic summons these spirits of those who were not yet fully consumed by the train to attack the firemen.
Isn't he the engineer? Isn't that what the engineer does? Anyway,
he has been referred to as both the engineer and the fireman.
Cool. Okay. I'm just thinking like, sorry, my mind went to a different place with firemen. Do I shoot him?
I forgot to say too, Peaches is watching our 6. I don't know if that's helpful for any spooky.
Yeah, because the conductor was coming behind us, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
What is Wilhelm doing? What's my new BFF doing?
He is currently looking over the edge of one of the windows that has no panes in it anymore, kind of watching in terror.
I like that I make BFFs everywhere we go. I made one in Tharcold. Now I've made one in Orosh. Just that kind of person. Shoot. Is there any way, I realize that this is like a different place, but is there any way that I can discern the best way to destroy this train? Can I hack the train? I realize that it's not...
You can't hack the train.
Right, but...
But you want to destroy the train?
I mean, yeah, isn't that what we want? Stop the train, destroy the train?
Well, those are two very different outcomes. Do you want to stop the train, or do you want to destroy the train?
Team, do you have a preference?
How about we stop it and get off and then destroy it?
Okay.
Porque los dos. Why not both?
Okay, what is going to be the most... Can I discern the most effective way to stop the train in this case of emergency?
Give me a straight intelligence check.
Straight, so that'd be just a straight mind roll?
Yep, straight mind roll, please.
Okay, I'm scared of all of my dice. Oh, there's too much glitter. 14.
I don't think there's
11.
ever too much glitter for this group. Like,
No.
if your dice aren't sparkling, then what are they doing here on Tuesday nights? Like, just
I know, it's super sparkly, but like the way they put the glitter on sometimes obscures the numbers. So, an 11.
An 11? Well, so here's the thing. You know of two ways to stop it. You could release all the pressure valves, or you could get that lever pulled all the way back. With an 11, you're not really sure about how to destroy it.
Okay. Since I'm not proving to be as strong as I thought, this is a terrible idea. I'm gonna go for the pressure valves.
Okay.
And just try and open as many as I can.
Okay.
And hope that someone follows my lead.
All right. That will be. So here's the thing. That would be a multi-action, which would reduce your success to an 11. So that may be something you could call out this turn for next turn.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Edith is right behind me because we're Winnie the Poohing, so I don't have to yell as loud. So I will tell her to go for the pressure valve. Winnie the Poohing. Because I don't want to yell, because I don't want him to know. Stop it, JM. You heard what I said. You know what I meant. Gonna tell her to go for the pressure valves because she's much stronger than I am.
All right. So that brings our first round to the end. The next round is Look Out. Villains go first. Heroes are confused. You may not use cards from your pools this round. Although you may still gain destiny cards from approved actions and place cards into your pool as normal. Did you want to use your flurry before the end of the round, Ross?
I did, yes.
Go for it. I think you have to from Critical Moment, right?
Yeah, I do. So I need to.
All right, go for it.
Plus, hey, joke's on you for next round though. I don't have any cards.
That's right.
All right. I guess I will. I guess what I will do is I'll try and pull the lever, and I'll say out loud, doesn't this track have any switches or anything on it? Surely there should be some sort of damsel tied to the tracks or something at this point. You know, basically just spouting off tropes from
the Nile Empire.
Yeah, there's got to be something. But I'm going to haul on the lever and try to move it.
Okay. Give me your strength check as you haul back on this thing, trying to slow the train down even more.
do I get the bonus from V and Lily?
Yeah, I'll give you the bonus from V and Lily. You can have +1 to the final roll.
All right, strength roll. Okay. I'm gonna spend my second Aurora possibility on that.
Do you wish to retain it?
No.
And I would just like to point out for all of our B-Team fans, don't think I haven't forgot that Malachi has a corruption test coming the next time we play.
17 total.
All right, so Lady Salvo, you have 2 options with a 17 because you had a good success. You could slow the train down to where it will gently coast to a stop, or you can attempt to bring it to a very abrupt stop.
Well, the abrupt stop is far more dramatic, and plus we get all the sparks flying off the wheels, and the squeal of probably sounds like Souls of the Damned as the whole train tries to come to a stop. Yeah, I'm doing this option B, please.
All right, so perfect. So with option B, what I need from everyone at the start of the turn, again, the squeals, the train squeals. You can feel as the weight of the cars behind it kind of slam into the engine. You guys are all rocked forward. You can see the sparks flying down either side of the train, and by the gods, it looks as if there are demons and horses and mounted riders riding backwards along the engine as the sparks are being kicked off from this. I need everyone to give me a DN 16 dexterity check.
Question.
Anton, answer.
Since I still have telekinesis up, can I just kind of lift off?
No, because the train would still be traveling forward. So
yeah, I want to move with it, not just lift off and get smacked by the train.
I'll allow you to use telekinesis for the roll because you have it up.
Okay. Well, I want to split it then because I want to lift up and do that, and I'm going to lash out with a stream and pick up that ring.
This is like a reflexive roll, so you don't need you need to take your penalties from having multiple psionic powers up, but nothing.
Yep, I got that. Okay. It was almost a 20.
We all know Lady Salvo made her dexterity check. No.
I got a 17.
17, so that's fine. Did anyone else make the check? Let's start that. Lily, how's Edith doing? That's a lot of no's.
Do any of them that are holding on to the lever get a bonus because they're holding onto the lever?
Nope.
I'm trying, guys.
The shock, you see Anton kind of lifts up into the air. The engineer just plants his right foot behind him, hard enough down that he punctures a hole in the floor, and you can see the metal just kind of buckle behind him as he grinds his foot down against the metal floor. Edith, Tyrannic, and Lady Salvo, you go flying up against the engine. And from the...
Is Peaches okay?
What? Peaches... Are you... Man, baked peaches would smell really good. But
no, thank you. He's got wings. He's probably fine, right? No worries about Peaches.
Edith, you will take 2 points of shock from touching the engine. Tyrannic, 2 points of shock from hitting the engine. V, 2 points of shock. And Lady Salvo, Lady Salvo is 10. Lady Salvo, you will take a wound and 2 shock, or no, up 10, sorry. 2 wounds and 4 shock from hitting the engine. Like you guys
Okay,
hear, there's the sizzling as Lady Salvo hits the metal of the furnace.
All right, I'm gonna do a soak, but my power, my brand new power, which I've had only for a couple of episodes now, it's uncanny dodge, and I can soak by not spending possibility, but instead spend two shock.
Okay.
And luckily for Peaches, Tyrannic absorbs, cushions that blow as Peaches runs into you.
Yeah.
And so
I'll spend a possibility to increase that. That's a 23.
All right, so
sorry.
you would soak.
Wait, sorry, it's not
okay.
right. It's reality. 21. Sorry.
Okay, so you will still soak all of the damage.
Yeah, but it cost me 2 shock. So,
okay.
But I traded 2 shock for not taking 2 wounds, which I think is a good trade. But basically, what I do is I flip around in midair and land with my boots on the engine rather than my body.
Yep, and when you kind of drop back to the ground, you can all see where the soles of Lady Salvo's boots. There's a thin layer of smoldering leather, kind of still attached, as the bottom layer of her boots had seared to the side of the engine.
We knew that this thing burned souls, and it now has proven it.
You should at least award the B team a possibility.
For a pun that truly spectacular, I will give all of you a possibility.
Huzzah!
How often do you get to make a burnt soul joke?
That's right.
All right. However, the engineer...
Do any of us get to go?
Villains go first.
Oh.
Attack is the approved action.
Jim, we talked about stacking the deck. You really need to stop doing it.
I'm shuffling in front of everyone. Maddie, if I wanted to stack the deck, it would be far worse than the 2 cards that have just flipped up. There are some truly diabolical cards. So he's going to take a multi-action. And Anton, you see he takes his right hand and he draws it across his body at you, and flames gout out from the opening to the furnace, curve around his body to slam into you. With his left hand, he holds out, and he just holds out his hand, and he waits. And he waits. And he waits. Alright, so he is stymied, and he has a wound, which means he's at -3 to everything that he does right here. So, Anton, he hits a 25 with his attack. What is your dodge?
He's at 15. 15, so he's at +10.
So he's at +10?
Yep.
All right.
Anton, do we still have that +2 from last time?
Yes, that's still up. I'm taking penalties to keep up your defenses.
Oh, thank you.
You, sir, are a gentleman, and
it seems when I do all these penalties, I roll better. If I get rid of them all, I roll horribly. So I might as well just keep them going.
All right, Anton. He beat you by 14. So that is 2 wounds and 4 shock from the fire.
I'll spend that possibility you graciously gave us to...
And Tyrannic. Actually, Edith. What is your dodge? $15?
At +2.
With the +2? Okay.
Edith.
Edith, the shovel comes back through the wall of the train, ripping a tear along the line of the metal, catches you in the back for a wound and 2 shocks, and slaps back into his hand with
He
a
meow-meowed you.
meaty thunk.
He meow-meowed you.
He did meow
That's
meow
not
you.
okay.
Heroes, Horsemen, it is your turn.
I got a 25 on my reality soap.
All right. So the flames kind of fall away from Anton. You can see while he is steaming in the night in the engine, he does not seem to have taken any damage, but he has no eyebrows.
You don't throw fire at a pyrokinesis kind of guy.
Yes, it is Shovnir, the trowel of Thor.
So did the shovel get back into his hand yet?
It did.
I know it hit me. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Guys, I don't think using fire on this guy is going to help because he's sat here shoveling stuff in, and that's my kind of my attack thing.
The train has abruptly stopped, correct?
The train has noticeably stopped. At the end of this round is when it will come to a full and complete stop, as opposed to several rounds.
I mean, Anton, you could tuck and roll.
Tuck and roll.
Off the
Oh, I
train.
could just float off the train. I thought we would all leave together,
Oh, okay.
kind of a thing. I definitely want to grab that ring, but I don't. I mean, I can try to tug a war with him, but he's very strong.
Yeah.
Probably not too smart if you want to like confuse him, V, because you know you're super smart.
Oh, V, are you going first?
Sure.
Roll a d20 for me.
Seven.
Okay, your turn. What are you doing?
How do I confuse the giant fireman?
Does Edith have any special bolts?
Now I'm just gonna start talking shop with this dude and try and distract him. So I see you're running on steam. Have you ever considered upgrading to gas or possibly electricity? I've heard they're doing some really great things with magnets. You know, really cuts down on that hazardous working environment. They're a lot faster. You know, you don't have to break your back to work it.
So I'm guessing this is a trick? Is that what we're going with?
Sure.
Okay.
Anton told me to talk to him, so I'm talking to him.
Approved
Yeah,
action
right?
is attack, Restar.
Yeah, so, yeah, just gonna, talk shop, so maybe Edith can get over to those, I don't know if we need the pressure valves now, but someone can maybe get the jump on him. So attempting to distract him, talk about better working conditions, possibly mention the idea of unionizing.
Yeah. OSHA.
Right. OSHA, 8-hour day versus...
Those doors are definitely not up.
Oh, absolutely. That shovel, you could probably upgrade that for something much more ergonomic so you're not killing your low back. They also have these things called lumbar supports. You can really get those going. That's really going to help.
Give me the trick roll.
They're... That was a really good roll. So, super successful.
Did you roll 1?
Yeah, I did.
Mishap.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to use cards, or are we under that no cards this
It
turn?
It is the confusion round.
So if cards in play that can't be used?
Yep. So Maddie, I'm going to make this a connection test because you are clearly trying to explain to this creature ideas that do not exist in this tech axiom.
I mean, magnets exist. Magnets
I hope you like
exist.
high neck, long dresses, because that's what you're going to be wearing.
True, magnets exist, but the tech axiom for electromagnetic maglev trains, I'm going to toss.
That's not a disconnect, is it, JM?
What was that?
That's not a disconnect, is it?
No, it's a contradiction. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
78.
This was bound to happen at some point. I mean,
Lady Salvo says, magnets, how do they work?
through the roof.
So they occur as part of a normal skill test. You did roll a 1 using an ability or tool that is higher than the characters or the land's text axiom, but not both.
I mean, I didn't actually use anything. I just talked about things.
Right, but the example that they also give is trying to explain diplomacy to the social axiom of where tyrannic is at. Like, tyrannic still doesn't understand diplomacy. Michael does, like, for the record. But tyrannic, not so much. All right, so Maddie, you have disconnected at this point. You cannot take actions or gain benefits from tools that violate the axiom of the realm you are in. You do begin to get an intuitive feel. You will be able to make a reconnection check at the start of each of your turns, which is a reality skill check at -4.
Cool. So, considering most of my body is not body anymore, do I just fall to the floor?
You are fine right now. You have not. If you make a mishap while trying to reconnect, you will get a transformation. So at this point, you are disconnected from the cyber papacy, but you are not yet transformed into the Orosian Cosm.
Okay. I'm just
The
trying to
chat
think-
says you turn into clockwork, Maddie.
I mean, I just, like, I can't use my eyes, so I'm half blind. Like, I'm not trying to, like, make this worse, but also I'm trying to understand.
So you are not. So yes, you don't see well. It's starting to get kind of hazy and fuzzy with your cyber eye. If you roll a 1 on your reconnect check, then I get to have fun and tell you what new horrific thing happens to your character. I'm most likely certain that the metal doesn't go away and your internal organs just hit the ground. Pretty sure that's not what's going to happen. Who's going next? You see Genevieve kind of like gets a little dizzy. Wilhelm's like, no, what's happened?
Do I go, Lady Salvo?
I'll go.
Okay.
Things are getting a little bit desperate. I'm going to try Suppressive Fire, JM.
Do you yell Suppressive Fire?
It's unfortunately it's not native to my Cosm, or I would, but it's not. That's not an Nile Empire thing. So I'm targeting. According to the rules here, I roll a fire combat against the target's intimidation or spirit, whichever's higher.
Definitely his intimidation.
All right. Cool. And I will spend that last possibility we just got on that. All right, cool. Cool. So that I'm going to fire. It gives me a 30. I fire a single shot, but it ricochets around the area that he's in, and she's just like, ah!
Would you say like it is some sort of magic bullet?
Almost. It's guided by superhuman ability, so yeah.
Yeah, so that is an outstanding success against his intimidation. So that will also inflict damage.
Yeah, it actually hits him, and he's very stymied. Which is great. Okay, cool. So, and it counts as an attack, so I get a card.
Yep, you will get coup de grace.
Ooh, too bad I can't play it. Cool, so we're going to go with the damage on that. 22 AP2.
22 AP2. All right, so that will be 1 wound and 2 shock. He is definitely going to spend a possibility to attempt to soak it, and a second one because he rolled a 3.
Womp womp.
22 plus 8. Vitality. Okay. So while he is very stymied, the bullet does not seem to hurt him. Who is going next?
If I may, stir my telekinesis up, and since this is all happening so quickly, I'm going to split. I'm going to grab the ring.
All right,
and
Anton, you grab the ring, and
I'm going to. Okay.
And you instinctively know that it says 2G or 2A from G, and it turns into a red and blue energy, and you gain a possibility.
Woo! And I was going to take, like I said, two things. Grab the ring, bring it to my hand, and as that shovel reaches his hand, I'm just going to keep swinging it, and he's going to try to hit himself with his own shovel.
All right. Give me your TK roll. This will be versus...
You're required to ask why you're hitting yourself. Why are you hitting yourself?
Yes. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. So you want to...
Give me your TK roll.
TK.
Oh, you're keeping it up. Use the base strength of your telekinesis, and
that's
add
15.
your adds from trick to it, and see what happens. So give me the roll. Like, you're going to make a trick roll, but you're going to use your TK strength as the base.
Use that possibility. That's better. So that's 19. $28.
All right, Anton, you get him to hit himself in the face with his own shovel. Which will deal. All right. There is a large wham noise as the shovel hits the creature right in the face.
Conform around to his face, like, you know.
You didn't hit him that hard. He does take a step back. Anton, I will give you that as an attack. You get rally. Who's going next?
V wanted me to get the pressure valves, so I mean, I know the train is slowing down quite a bit, but is there anything that I can hit the pressure valves with?
I mean,
or is it just like okay, cool. I'm gonna do that.
All right, you start.
I'm glad none of us remember the word for it.
You start spinning the valve releases, and you can hear the sound of additional steam whistles blowing outside, and you can finally see the countryside. It's slowing down. You can see that the hills are rising. The train is rolling to a stop, but it's definitely on the ascent. And Edith, as you kind of look out the window that you're standing next to, you can see the tunnel through the mountains up ahead. All right, I believe it is just Tyrannic, and I don't mean just Tyrannic. It is Tyrannic.
Thank you. How's he looking?
Tyrannic and Peaches.
I think that was the first damage he actually took.
He took the one wound from Tyrannic's spell invocation.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I'm behind him, right? I think. I lurched forward past him. Does that sound right? You lurched
forward past him, and he was focused on... Yes, you are behind him.
Okay. I think I'm going to pop out my death claws and attack him from behind. Maybe try and gouge his eyeballs out. Is that...
right? Do you want to make a called shot to his eyes to get extra damage?
Yes. And will he be... I mean, if I succeed, is he blind then?
Possibly.
Okay. All right. I will do that.
It'll be -6 to the attack roll.
Okay. Well, I just got a 20, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And a 19. Okay. Okay, so that would be with the -6 is a 15 to hit.
Tyrannic, you go to like get behind him and claw his eyes out, and he has some supernatural sense that you are there, and you do not land the blow.
Bummer. Okay.
You kind of reach out, and he sort of steps forward, and your claws just kind of rake down his back. You shred the overalls that he's in, but you don't feel like you've left any sort of marks on his skin.
Bummer. Okay, so I just made the scene inappropriate, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he is now wearing a backless jumpsuit.
Oof.
All right. I'm not through yet. Heroes go first, but you are all stymied. Any action is approved. The train rolls to a stop. You can kind of hear the squeals of metal from behind you. The sound of cars kind of slamming into each other. Again, the couplings kind of keep them from actually crashing into each other, but the sounds of metal approaches this the timbre of screams as the metal kind of, buckles and resists and shears a bit. Who's going first?
So, do we want to leave since it's stopped now, or do you think we'll get sucked back on?
Jim, I don't remember in my conversation with Wilhelm did he say if we left we'd get sucked back on?
He said every time he left the train, it got, he got pulled back on, but he never said that he was able to stop the train. Tyrannic, you only get the card if you successfully make the approved action.
V, do you want to go first to see if you can reconnect? And we can.
I'm sitting at a -8, so I don't think I'm going to be reconnecting this round.
I mean, whenever you go, you're going to have to reconnect. So
yeah,
it would just let us know where you're at.
Sure.
Just want to know if you're going to look around and try to carry a parasol from now on. So
I can go on quick if you like.
Yeah, go for it.
Lady Savo takes aim. And that's it.
Okay, so taking aim will give you +4 to your next ranged attack roll. V, Tyrannic, Edith, Anton?
I'm wondering if we need to instead now close the valves and crank up the pressure so the thing blows once we get off of it.
No, if you crank the pressure back up, once he releases the brake, it'll go. Without pressure, it has to sit here for a bit and build up pressure before it can move again.
So much for that.
So much for your advanced technology.
I wonder if you can blow up the tracks.
The train has stopped. Do you have a way to do that?
Yeah. You can always sabotage the boiler.
Do you have explosive bolts that we can rig into a little bomb to be like the resistance and blow the track?
Not for this Cosm, no.
If you guys want to try and blow the boiler, that would be a mind or a science roll.
So I didn't roll a 1, I rolled a 7. So -6.
What's the total of your reality roll?
So 7 is -2. I'm already at -6, so that's -8. So that's a reality roll of 2.
Okay, so you just don't reconnect at this point.
Do you want to spend possibility to try to up that?
No, because I only have one possibility.
Anybody got a hero
You
card?
want-
They can-
I have a second
hero
chance if
card.
you want to re-roll it, or you have a hero card out.
Somebody's got a hero card out. They can play it.
Yeah,
I have one in play.
You got it?
Hero do?
It's a possibility.
Possibility.
It's a pos-
Good, because I rolled a 4.
But it's a 10.
17,
It's a +4.
which is 4 minus, so 14 minus 6. I'm still sitting at a 7.
You're at an 8.
Or an 8, sorry.
So
8.
anybody's got a +3 from something. V reconnects.
I don't have it in play.
Okay.
Are we still in combat?
We are still in combat. All right,
Yeah.
V, what do? You can't use your lasers. You can't use your knowledge of electromagnetic trains. But give me your D20 roll real quick.
9. I can't roll higher than a 10.
Okay. So with a 9, you see something in the coal bin. Now that the train has come to stop, some of the coal has spread out. You see a small fox head medallion that reminds you very much of a fellow smuggler of people and goods in the cyber papacy, a man by the name of La Chasseur.
Okay. The shoe. I was just saying if his name is the shoe.
No. All right, what's the plan?
So 15 is as strong as I'm going to get with telekinesis because that's a good success.
It is, and he is massive.
Do I think No, not him. Do I think I can pull the spikes that are holding the track to the railroad ties and pull some of those out right where there's a juncture, and then maybe we can just offset it? Because you don't need a whole lot of misaligned track for the train to
You'd
not
have to
go
get
forward.
off the train.
Guys, I'm going to get off the train and I'm going to float up by the front of the train and I'm going to try to find where two of the rails connect right there and try to pull out the spikes so they're all loose. Because if it's loose, then the train might just move it itself. I think you're going to have to kind of wing that resistance to it. Unless the book is that thorough that railroad spikes have
No.
this target number.
All right, so Anton, you leap off, and you can see that the mists are kind of rolling in. You can see a little bit of the moon behind the mountain kind of shining over. You can see the yawning darkness of the tunnel about 40 yards away from you. But, as luck would have it, you can see that there are spikes that you can pull up.
Okay, so I'll float out and I'll kind of land on the front where like the cow catcher would be on the train.
Yep.
So I can stand there and then just use all my telekinesis to try to pull out.
All right, you rip up a dozen of these railroad spikes, just kind of throwing them into the night. And you can see that there's a section of track that is now loose.
Yeah, and then I will just try to just misalign it.
Did he ever get off?
What was that, Lily?
Did you got off the train, or are you
He is
still
off
kind
the
of on
train
it?
at this point.
Do we still see him?
Nope. He got off and went to the front of the engine.
But we saw him on the ground after he got off.
You did see him on the ground after he got off.
He's going off the rails on a crazy train.
Was that an approved action?
Anything is approved action. So, Lady Salvo took aim for master plan. Willpower is Anton's.
All right. Well, I guess Peaches and I will join Anton and help him push the tracks out of alignment.
All right, you guys, Tyrannic and Peaches also go over the edge, and they start pushing and shoving at this piece of track, and slowly but surely, the gravel and the accumulated dirt, you start to rock this thing back and forth, and little by little you can see that you gain inches, and soon the next piece of track ahead is offset just enough. Glory, Michael. V and Edith, you got Lady Salvo drawing a bead on this creature. What do you do?
Just one last thing. Don't call me Shirley.
And yes, the track, as you watch, you can see blood welling up from where the spikes have been pulled free. And what, as you kind of revealed in the moonlight, the big railroad ties, they don't seem to be made of wood. They sort of writhe in the moonlight. Edith and V, what do you do?
Well, didn't V try to reconnect?
V did try to reconnect, but she still gets to take an action. She just can't do anything that would generate a contradiction.
And how many? So I have 2 wounds, and we're stymied this round.
You are stymied this round.
So how many minuses am I at? -4?
-4.
Okay. I asked the stoker, the guy with the shovel.
Yep.
He's not the same guy that we talked to before.
He is not.
Good heavens. Why do you live in this nightmare?
So it's your action, you're trying to get information out of him?
Yes.
He kind of looks at you. You can see like all of his teeth are rimed with coal dust. It's thick under his eyes. He's got a scarf kind of pulled up over his nose, a bandana kind of tied around his head, and you just hear, "Jews, I was born here. Orosh is now my home. From Gorhaga to Orosh to this microcosm, I have followed the Gaunt Man for centuries untold." Genevieve, what are you doing?
I don't have any good ideas, so I was waiting. I guess I will try and take Wilhelm off the train and see if he'll depart, because I do not have anything on me that is not tech, so I cannot.
As you turn around to check on Wilhelm right before the villains get to go, you grab Wilhelm. Are you trying? You're trying to get him off the train?
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of fighting you. It won't work. It never works.
But you said you've never stopped the train before.
He kind of looks at you. His eyes grow wider. And as you take his hand and you go to step off, he goes to leap with you, and you feel something kind of pull him back. And the conductor has grabbed the back of Wilhelm's collar, and you are now in a tug of war with the conductor over the fate of Wilhelm. So that just leaves Edith and Lady Salvo in the engine, correct? You see the engineer brings his shovel down onto the metal of the engine, and he pulls it back with a heavy scream as the metal kind of buckles, and the floor buckles back at you as he uses like the lever to kind of knock everything off balance. So he's going to make a maneuver roll against the two of you. What is your base maneuver?
Ten.
18.
All right, 10 and 18. And I got a 27. So that's not an outstanding success against Lady Salvo. Lady Salvo, I'm going to make you very stymied. Edith, you are very stymied as well, but he gives a savage wrench with the metal, and your foot slips between the metal plates all the way up to your thigh. And when he pulls the shovel back, the metal twists painfully against it. You are stuck in the engine. Not like this. Heroes go first, but are fatigued. Intimidate and maneuver are the checks.
Fatigue does what again?
Minus, you take 2 shock.
Ah! Running out of shock.
All right, heroes, where are you going?
Well, I've aimed, so...
You have aimed, so that negates the very stymied.
It does, but I'm going to take the -4 for the vital shot.
All right.
Anyway. And you know what? I will get out the other gun, though, and rapid fire.
Now it's serious.
So that's going to be actually up 2. My total of a -2, actually, after everything's all put together. So I roll. Okay, good thing I'm favored. Still not great. All right, Jam, that's a 20.
That is a 20. Well, a 20 is a good success. Nope.
Great.
A 20 is a standard success.
Okay. Well, I got nothing else I can put on that, so there it is. I will, however, throw down coup de grace, so I will get at least a damage die.
All right, go for it.
All right, so we're looking at 18 AP2. Sorry, 22 AP2.
All right, possibility spending time. No, it's a 2. It's a 12, which is a +0, which is only an 18. So he will still take 1 wound.
Yes.
All right, bullets rip through.
Well, I want to say something cool before I shoot.
Go for it.
You know, what you fail to understand, she says, lining up the shot, is that we are the light at the end of the tunnel.
Bullets rip through the creature as he staggers back a little bit, ripping the shovel free from the floor. You can see blood starting to stain his overalls. Edith and V, and Anton and Tyrannic.
I think I'm gonna help V with the Wilhelm situation.
Okay.
Maneuver is approved.
Maneuver is approved.
So I think Peaches is going to try and maneuver, and distract the other guy, while I'm going to throw my boomerang at him to try and get him to let go of Wilhelm.
All right, give me the maneuver roll first for Peaches. Genevieve, you can clearly hear, as does Lady Salvo, because the engine has finally, the train has finally grown quiescent. You hear, "No! Start it back up! We don't have much farther to go! We must enter the tunnel!" And the engineer you can just see his face is twisted in rage as he focuses on Lady Salvo.
It's a 13 for Peaches.
Peaches will make the conductor vulnerable to your attack.
Great.
I forgot to put a card in. I'll put in glory.
That's a 14.
It's a 14?
To attack with my boomerang.
Okay. What's the base damage on your boomerang?
It is 10.
All right. You see the boomerang come flying. It hits the conductor in the head. You see a red welt kind of spread, and it does seem to loosen his grip. Wilhelm struggles a couple of inches further away from him. Peaches is in his face, just kind of... I liked you better when you were just a cape.
Since no one else came out, I will float back, see what's going on.
You can see Genevieve is trying to help Wilhelm out. The conductor is back there. Tyrannic and Peaches are in his face.
Okay, as soon as the conductor's there, I will pyrokinesis.
In my head, I see Anton like John Travolta. He's like, "Why didn't you get off the train?"
Don't forget, everybody takes 2 fatigue or 2 shock from this round.
Yeah, I wrote that down as soon as you said it.
Okay.
2
All right,
shock.
Anton.
2 shock. So. That's not too bad. That's. I'm gonna spend. I don't think that's good enough. There we go. Now it's 32. 26 minus 6 is a 20 with pyrokinesis. That would be against his dodge or dexterity.
That will be a good success, Anton. So go ahead and roll the damage.
Four would be 14 fire damage.
He lets go. It shocks him more than anything else, but he does let go of Wilhelm, who kind of stumbles forward with V, taking them both off the edge of the train onto the solid ground. You can hear it's gravel crunching beneath your feet, but it sounds hollower somehow. Not like rocks shifting, but like bones shifting against each other.
Okay. And if I'm going to do flourish, I tell you I'm going to do this at the end of our turn then?
Yes. So you'll do that at the end of after everyone goes.
Okay. So I'm playing flurry.
Edith, you stand in the train. The engineer is bleeding. You can hear the sound of the flames of Anton and Wilhelm breaking free. The conductor shouting no. You're muted, Russ.
I'm dropping master plan to pick up that flurry and play it immediately.
Okay. So you will both get to go at the end of the turn. All right. V, Edith.
While Edith decides, I will roll to reconnect. And JM, I'm sorry, I got distracted. Can I say I have picked up the token? Otherwise, I will run in and pick up the token.
You can pick up the token.
Okay. Cool.
Again, much like before, there's this spark of red and blue energy, and V, you receive a possibility. All right, what did you get on your reconnect roll?
Okay, so what are we at right now? We're exhausted, so we're shocked, but we're no longer stymied?
You are no longer stymied.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I am 1 shock away from being
Okay. All right, so you're one shock away from passing out, is what I heard you say. All right. V, what are you going to do with your turn?
So I guess I'm gonna spend that possibility to reconnect because I'm still at a -6 to reconnect, correct? Because it's still -4 to reconnect.
It is still -4 to reconnect.
Okay, so I rolled an 18, which is 5, which gets me to 15, but -6 is 9. So I don't think I still don't think I reconnect. Correct?
You do not. You need to get to a 10 total.
Can I give her a willpower that I had out?
Does willpower apply to spirit rolls?
Yep, it's mind, spirit, or charisma.
That'll get you over the lip that you need. V, everything kind of snaps back into focus for you. Your eye kind of clears. All of your data starts streaming back in from your deck. Your muscles and body seems to respond in the way that you normally expect it to.
Okay. Edith, do you need help getting out?
Sadly, we got a little bit of lag with Edith right now. Anton and Lady Salvo, your flurries go off after the heroes go, so why don't we jump to you?
Go ahead, Tom.
I was going to see if anybody needed like another delaying thing. I don't know your action. If you were still going to hit the big guy so he doesn't start the engine.
Okay, I guess I'll go. I'm going to try and maneuver Edith out of the hole. The thing she's stuck in.
She's in the hole.
Okay, so you want to try and maneuver out of the hole? Go ahead and give me a...
Like 5 minutes ago, but yes.
All right, give me the roll, Lady Salvo.
And then Jam, if they get her out of the hole, stupid idea, can I run and launch off the first step and come with a flying haymaker at the conductor so they can try and get by him?
You technically have to do that first because they're taking flurry actions.
Okay, great. I will do that first so to maybe distract him so they can get out of there because they still have to get past him to get out, correct?
Yes.
Oh, this is stupid. Okay, cool.
I guess my question for Lady Salvo is, should my action use my telekinesis to try to help his maneuver? Like by trying to pry open the metal so he would make the roll with a bonus?
Sure.
I mean, that's all I can do is use my thing to try to pull it open so I can just... It's probably more effective to help you with maneuver so she can get out.
Edith is helping as well. That would give a total of +2 to the roll.
Perfect. So that's my action, my flurry action.
14! Mostly just trying to distract him.
Okay, what's the damage on your haymaker punch there, Genevieve?
Oh, I don't know. What do I roll for my fist?
Well, I was going to roll a maneuver to see if I can extract myself from the train.
Okay. Lady Salvo, Anton, are you okay helping Edith with that? Okay, Edith, you'll get to make the roll at +2. So, Edith got a total of 14 thanks to Anton and Lady Salvo's help, and pulls her leg free. As Genevieve clocks the conductor across the face, causing him to stumble back off of the engine car, back onto the car that he came from. Wilhelm is like, run! Run! All of you run into the mists!
She punched his ticket.
Ross, any other cosm, you know I would reward you. All right, so V, what do you do? Anton, Lady Salvo. Anton, Lady Salvo, I'm going to give you guys your action, your flurry action. What are you guys going to do before the villains go?
We used it to help, didn't we?
Yeah, if I punch him and I'm successful, then I'm going to leap back and ready to shoot him with my lasers because I got him back in case they don't get off the train.
Okay.
And yes, and what was the approved action this round?
Intimidate or maneuver.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Oh, hey.
Yep.
I intimidated him with my fist.
Lady Salvo gets a flurry.
Jesus Christ.
Glory and supporter. All right. So, Tyrannic, Genevieve, and Wilhelm, you are off the train. Anton and Lady Salvo and Edith are on the train still. So, at this point, the engineer steps forward. What does the engineer want to do? He took a wound, which means that's his venture.
He just wants to lay down and die. That's what I think.
Nope, that's definitely not what he's going to do at all. All right.
Try to start the broken engine?
No, he is enraged at this point, thanks to Lady Salvo's actions. So, at this point, he slams the shovel down in front of him. You will feed this engine, and the train that runs through the veins of the cosmos will continue its journey. And he kind of brings both of his hands to the side, and at first you don't feel anything, but as sweat starts to bead on his forehead, you all start to feel this pull towards the engine. So I'm going to roll a maneuver check, and on player's choice, you will get sucked into the engine.
We're not big enough to fit.
He is not big enough to fit. V is
We're
big
the
enough
tribe.
to fit.
We're the tribe.
All right, here's my one roll with a possibility, because why not? Thank you, Beta Clarence. 33 plus 10. All right, Anton, what is your maneuver? That did not sound like an actual number, my friend.
My maneuver is 8.
Okay. He said, not saying the word that may have sounded like he was said because our producer is listening.
Jan?
Yes.
Sidebar, this is a steam train, correct?
Yes.
Noted, thank you.
All right, Anton, you will take +1. Anton, you will take 3 wounds and 6 shock from the engine. Edith, what is your maneuver?
So, what happens when you're at 4 wounds?
We will come back to that in a second. Edith,
Because I have no more possibilities to roll a soak.
What is your maneuver, Edith?
Base maneuver or a maneuver roll?
Your base maneuver.
It's 11, in fact. I have not written down my stats correctly.
All right, so it is 11. Edith, you will take... You will take 2 wounds and 4 shock as you go flying into the engine. Lady Salvo, what is your maneuver?
Or perhaps...
Or your
18.
maneuver base?
$18, she said.
18? All right, so Lady Salvo, you remain unmoved from this. You see Anton fly into the engine. Anton, so we'll wait for you to get back to discuss that.
Lily, do you have any possibilities?
Yes, so I just rolled the soak.
Okay, what'd you get on your soak roll?
I'm doing math. 14?
So a 14. Do you have anything to bump that up?
Can I add willpower, which is spirit, adds 3 to spirit?
Yes. So that will mean you will only take 1 wound and no shock.
Thank you.
Anton.
So I want to say one thing before I die.
Hold on,
If I
Anton.
die.
Is it? Ah!
Do you have any possibilities?
No, I would have tried to soak. I have no possibilities left.
Okay, here are 2 options, team. I have transfer. I can give Anton my last possibility, or I can play my delightful Cosm card, which gets all of us 3 possibilities, but your possibilities don't become 10s. But I'm
I have
putting
a
it.
hero.
Okay.
Do you want the hero?
Hero's a possibility.
Yeah. Why don't you give that to Anton?
Okay.
To try not to die?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if that doesn't work, I can get you possibilities. One of 2 ways.
Hey, look, a 0. A 14.
Better go ahead and transfer that possibility, Maddie.
A 14
All right, Mark, I will give you my possibility with transfer.
And Oroch does nothing. It negates the shock.
How about a 22?
A 22 would be all wounds and shock are ignored.
Okay.
So you hit the side of the engine, the furnace entrance, and bounce off as opposed to flying into it and testing for defeat.
I was going to say, joke's on you, I don't have a soul.
All right, last card. Closer to victory. Heroes go first. Maneuver is the appropriate action. You can see the conductor kind of takes his turn and brings his hands forward, and you can feel the train sluggishly start in short fits and starts move closer toward the tunnel. Yes.
Is the water tank for the steam engine visible?
Not from where you are standing.
Where would I have to stand for it to be
You
visible?
have to back pretty far away to kind of get, kind of maneuver around. What are you looking for specifically?
I want to shoot the water tank to get the steam out so the train can't chug forward.
So 2 things. 1, it's not under its steam power right now. It's being moved
It's
forward by
okay.
something else. And 2, a single shot is not going to necessarily be enough to decrease the pressure enough in the water tank. If it was fully up to steam, right? It would just, a single shot would create essentially a small hole. It would decrease the pressure, but probably not enough to keep it from rolling. Do you want to do something else?
So remember, we opened the valves too, so a lot of the steam bled off, slowed down.
It's not the steam is not it is not moving under that power. You can see from where you're standing, V. You can see kind of. You're hoping it's oil, a viscous red oil is leaking from around the pistons and the wheels of the train as it sort of rumbles forward.
Okay, then I will try to shoot the conductor to stop him from moving the train so they can get out of there.
Okay, go for it.
And I think we should try to leave.
Yes, I want you guys to get out. I'm just trying to buy you time so the train's not moving.
All right. Then let's jump to Edith and Anton as you decide what you guys want to do. What did you get, V?
14.
All right, you hit the conductor. He kind of staggers a bit. The train rumbles, stutters, and then kind of picks up this very slow pace forward. What did you get, Anton? You're just floating out?
I'm just going to float away and say, let's get out of here. Don't worry about the train, because I don't know if everybody knows about the tracks because they couldn't see it, but get off the train. So it's me, Edith, and Lady Salvo that needs to get off. Right?
Yeah.
So as I go by, I was kind of tugging their sleeves like, let's go.
All right. Edith, are you following the lead?
Yes.
All right. As Anton and you and Edith grab Lady Salvo, as you leave the train, as soon as your feet hit the gravel, the mists roll in, and you definitely hear the sound of the train. It sounds like it's picking up speed, and then there is this horrible cacophony of a train derailing and crashing into the side of a mountain. However, it all breaks suddenly like a storm passing over you. And as the mists sort of fade, you all feel exhausted. Everyone takes 2 shock, which I believe knocks Edith unconscious. And you can see you are standing in the middle of a muddy field. You can smell the ocean. And as you look down, you can see a city sitting on the edge of a bay, about 4 miles away. And as you watch, little cinderous fibers fall from the sky, and one of them slowly wafts in front of V. And V, as you hold your hand out, this ticket lands right on your palm. And it's got your name, not Genevieve, your real name. And it says, 1 passenger. The dates are real blurry. You kind of feel like if you stare at it, you can't really focus on when the date of this ticket is, but it is an unpunched ticket for the train that then burns up in your hand as the embers kind of consume it. And that is where we will end for tonight. With you guys having dealt-ish with the train, as Edith would tell you if she were awake, no nightmare is so easily, in quotes, dispatched. I can promise you this, Horseman. This train will be back. And the engineer and the conductor have targeted you all for something special. But with that, we will bring, I know we went over tonight. I appreciate you guys bearing with me for that last round. We will be back in 2 weeks. We're taking the next week off. All of us are on vacation for the next week. I hope you enjoyed it. Chat, you were fantastic. In case you guys didn't pick up on it, Greg did mention that he was going to take that stack of possibilities and somehow gift one to Anton and Genevieve, and that is what happened with the lockets in the coal chute. So thank you as always to Ulysses International for hosting us on their channel. Check out all the other great shows. We'll be back on Thursday night with more Fading Suns. Wrapping up the arc there. The group has finally saved Braxton, but does that actually mean that they can rescue Jex's father or just have to watch him die that much closer? Find out on Thursday. Come back in 2 weeks for more Torg. We will be back on our regular schedule, and I am pleased to announce that we are rolling toward being back in the studio. I am very excited. We are doing some upgrades to the studio. Yes, rolling toward. Thank you, V. We're going to be doing some upgrades to the studio so that Ross and Lily can continue to play with us, even though that they are far away. And that when we do our next B-Team episode, I will be able to sit in the chair at the studio and have the B-Team displayed in front of me. So, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. Torg, chat, you are the best chat. I love interacting with you guys. Thank you for all of the the ideas, the delightful dramatic tensions, trying to guess what I'm planning, all of the great puns. I still think the tiger pun is the best one of the night, so if you are keeping track at home, that one wins. Everyone else have a wonderful night. Thank you all for playing. Yes, Anton.
Did you say you have the B team flayed in front of you or displayed?
I mean, you know, a little column A, a little.
Because I heard flayed.
I feel like we're having some issues with hearing things. I started it on Thursday. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. We will see you all in 2 weeks. Thank you very much. This has been Torg the Horsemen. These are the Horsemen. I am JM the GM. This is the Ulysses International channel. Subscribe. If you are watching this and you like what we do, say a big thank you to Ulysses and hit subscribe here on Twitch or on YouTube. Till next time, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good one.